The following video is a compilation of accounts viewed from Duty Finder, Party Finder, and forums. This is a parody guide, and none of what is contained here is to be taken seriously aside from what not to do. Thanks for my inspiration goes out to all the people that this is based on who don't know what a tooltip is. This one's for you. Chapter 1. The Overview. Oh, hello there. Are you tired of worrying about anyone other than yourself in a dungeon? Are you over the hype of big numbers? Do you enjoy every fight being designed against you? Are you a fan of inexplicably pointy knuckle weapons? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then the lackluster world of Monk is just for you. For those of you who don't know, Monk is a low versatility powerhouse DPS job based around ramping consistent damage via greased lightning stacks rather than burst damage. It is currently one of the highest single target damage jobs as of patch 3.3. This, however, is their only redeeming quality since they are otherwise completely useless in any endgame group. They are currently the only job that buffs and deals primarily blunt damage, making them the most self-centered job and player base to date. The only other thing that they bring to the table in a raid group is the intelligence debuff they inflict on enemies through Dragon Kick. This debuff is useful for no other reason than to bring a mob's intelligence down to match the monk's brutish and simple ways of thinking. It also keeps the enemies on par with your raid leader if they've been dumb enough to actually include a monk into your group. If you haven't stopped watching yet, let's dive right in. Chapter 2. Abilities. A monk's rotation is unique in the fact that the combos are based off of stance buffs rather than their weapon skills being executed in a specific order. This allows players to execute abilities between weapon skills without interrupting their combos, unlike the other jobs currently available. Note that this is similar to Machinist's RNG based buff combos, only not terrible. So if you're not special snowflakes, you're still the specialist of all. There are 3 stances to switch between. Opa Opo, which changes to Raptor, which changes to Coral, which then changes back to Opa Opo. There are several weapon skills that will carry you through these stances, but only 3 that you really need to know. Bootshine, True Strike, and Snap Punch to put you in Raptor, Coral, and Opa Opo forms respectively upon execution. This is good news since you'll never have to use Demolish and its lackluster BS. Oh, really, Squeenix? We're just gonna call an ability Demolish when it has a whopping 50 potency.
Actually, Drak, it has really strong dots.
Save it, scrub. Everyone knows dots are a black mage's job. A minor note to keep in mind is that almost every monk weapon skill has what is known as a positional requirement. Ignore this. Some people will expect you to attack from the flank or behind, but that's too complicated for your simple monk brain. You're a monk, not a dancer. Regardless, the flank can technically refer to any side of the enemy, and therefore flank abilities will still count when executed from the back. I mean, you still get the stance change, you get the weapon skill buffs, and if that's not good enough for you, just look at this official definition online. Oh, hang on. Just a second, gotta change, There. See? Where the internet lie. Chapter 3. Mechanics. Monk DPS revolves largely around stacks of greased lightning, which ascends you to a higher plane of damage with each stack, capping at 3. You gain 1 stack per corresponding attack while in coral form. Through sheer willpower, each stack grants an immeasurable boost in power and attack speed, unlike some jobs that require performance-enhancing spells. Honestly, copyright law is the only thing keeping your hair from turning yellow and spiky. Pay no heed to the numbers given in the action help box. These are just made up so that Dragoons can still feel that their damage is relevant and don't kill themselves. That is, if they aren't dead on the floor already. Maintain stacks at all costs. Is everyone stopping their DPS to prevent a phase change in a fight? Sucks for them. Nothing is more important than your DPS. If they die, simply suggest they not be bad at the game. If someone dares argue with your methods, feel free to beat them over the head with your damage-inflated EP until they relent or keel over from internal hemorrhaging. You're doing the most damage. You don't have to take that. However, while this power is amazing, there is a chance it could become too much to handle. Considering that your raid leader is already as dumb as dirt to have even let you in their group in the first place, there is a chance an Astrologian has slipped through the cracks as well. While an Astrologian's primary purpose is to grant buffs to help lesser DPS, some may make the mistake of granting you additional power. While most cards won't hurt you, there is always the chance that they will send a balance your way. While the increase in damage isn't objectively bad, it is a direct violation of the Geneva Conventions in 17 countries. Arrow, on the other hand, should be feared and removed as soon as possible. Your attack speed will transcend space and time itself, burning through your TP and your mind should you ever try to keep up with it. Now, there will be moments during a fight where the boss will become untargetable or there will be nothing to punch. If you lose your stacks during a fight, proceed to run off the edge or into any wall or AoE that will instantly kill you. You've lost your damage and are thereby useless. Expecting healers to heal you by just adding another body to the fight is nothing short of selfish. Do everyone a favor and off your character to save them the trouble. The developers clearly did not intend for you to continue the fight. The Dragoon will need company on the floor anyway. Side note, Tornado Kick also exchanges all 3 stacks for a high potency attack, but is currently bugged as it does not detonate your character upon execution. As such, you will have to use this ability and be forced to kill yourself manually. This is too much effort, and you should thereby avoid using this attack at all. If you continue to follow this guide, then congratulations! You are on your way to becoming a fully fledged monk. Wield your newfound power with pride while crushing all who stand in your way. This, however, is their only redeeming quality since they are otherwise completely useless in any endgame group. This debuff is useful for no other reason than to bring the This debuff is useful for no other reason than to bring reason than to bring. This debuff is useful for no other reason than to bring a mob's intelligence down to match the monk's brutish. Fuck me. A monk's rotation is unique in the fact that the combos are based off of stance buffs rather than the This allows players to A minor note to keep in mind is that almost every monk skill I can't stop. Oh, it's so ridiculous. A minor note to keep in mind is that it's so stupid. Considering that your raid leader is already as dumb as dirt to have even let you in their group in the first place, there is a chance that an astrologian has slipped through the cracks. It was so good. While an astromogen, your attack seed will your seed. Give them your seed. Your attack speed will